Honey, wake up! The worst podcast imaginable just came out. For those of you who have been sleeping under a rock this past week, allow me to introduce you to a man by the name of Ned Fulmer, or as I like to call, Ned Fumble. He used to be a part of the Try Guys, and in 2022, it turned out that Ned was having an affair with his producer, and everything came to light abruptly. The Try Guys had to make an official statement to distance themselves from Ned and basically drop him from their group, and then he kind of just disappeared for the last 3 years. Ned has been in the Shadow Realm for these past 3 years, and honestly, that's exactly where he should have stayed. But no. He decided to reemerge with the worst podcast of all time. We've seen bad podcasts before, whether it's Red Pill podcasts that treat all women as silly, dumb OF models, the Hawk to a podcast, which is just gross, lame, disgusting, get off my screen, and countless others where people get a camera and suddenly decide they are the next Einstein and their thoughts need to be made public to the world via the internet. But this podcast has to be the worst by far. Ned Fumble started a podcast called Rock Bottom, and his first guest is, you guessed it, his ex-wife. You've already seen it. You already know what this is about. Ned made his entire personality when he was with the Try Guys about his wife. When he worked with the Try Guys, he was always talking about his wife, about how much he cared about his wife. He wanted to seem like that loving person who really cared about her, when in actuality, he was cheating with her while on the clock, with a producer, by the way. Now, he is trying to start another career based on the fact that he cheated on her. He is trying to leverage his awful behavior to make money. What in the actual heck is going on? Everything is terrible. We're in the worst timeline. I think the worst part by far is during this podcast, he never takes accountability for his behavior. He refers to his affair as a scandal rather than him, cheating on his partner. When she talks about problems she's encountered after his betrayal, his response is, "I'm so sorry that society is like that," rather than owning up to the fact that he caused all these problems by betraying her. He keeps distancing himself by just saying, "Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that," or, "Man, society really sucks, right?" So I think it's time we just come out and say it. Podcasts need to have some form of barrier for entry, because this is actual hot dog water. We need to ban certain people from having podcasts. Mr. Ned Fumble should be one of them. The Hawk to a girl should be one of them. Let me know who else needs to be on the banned from podcast list in the comments below. I really hope there's no episode 2 to this podcast. I really hope it's just a one and done and it's over and he disappears to the Shadow Realm. I think it's really gross that Ned is trying to use his affair as a way to start a whole new career. And I also find it awful that he brought his ex on the podcast to re-experience the pain and suffering he caused her. I hope he gets sent back to the Shadow Realm swiftly and never pop up on the internet ever again. Please, someone who is close to him, someone who cares about him, please take his internet access away, because he needs to just not be on the internet for a while or ever again. Anyways, that's all that I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed the drawing. I gave him a big head, a big brain, because, he has a massive ego. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to talk about. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like the video or if you like my artwork. I really appreciate you all. Stay safe out there and see you guys next time. Bye bye.